Please note that due to the subject of this assembly, it is only intended for years 3, 4, 5 and 6.
Good morning and welcome to this week's assembly. Today we'll be thinking about Holocaust Memorial Day, which takes place on the 27th of January every year. It is a day to remember the millions of people who died during the Holocaust so that people can learn about the terrible events of the past and consider the importance of being respectful and tolerant of other people and their beliefs. Every year, on 27th of January, people across the UK mark Holocaust Memorial Day by putting on events, assemblies, candle lightings, performances and many other activities. We do this to remember some events in the past when people were treated badly and even killed because of their religion or the colour of their skin. Let's find out a bit more.
Holocaust Memorial Day has been marked with tributes around the world. In the UK, it takes place each year on January the 27th. It's the anniversary of when victims of the Auschwitz concentration camp were freed by soldiers in 1945 and serves as a reminder of the terrible events that took place during the Holocaust when thousands of Jews were killed. In Russia, at a Jewish museum, candles were lit in memory of the victims, while in Italy, the lights were turned off at one of Rome's most famous landmarks, the Colosseum. Anne Frank is a well-known victim of the Holocaust. She hid in a secret room for a long time, but was eventually sent to a concentration camp. A new app has been launched based on her story, which she told in the diary of Anne Frank. It allows you to find out more about the conditions she lived in.
This way of keeping a diary is much nicer, and now I can hardly wait for those moments when I'm able to write in you.
You can also learn more about what life was like for Anne and her family during the Holocaust.
In the 1930s, a man called Adolf Hitler was the leader of the Nazi Party in Germany. The Nazis believed that Jewish people weren't as good as German people. They made laws so that Jewish people couldn't go to school and could only do a few jobs. For example, Otto Deutsch was no longer allowed to play football in the park because he was a Jew. The Nazis started planning ways to make it very difficult for the Jews to live in Europe. After the Holocaust, the world said this must never happen again, but sadly, similar crimes have happened in many countries around the world and still happen today. This is why we have to learn about what happened, remember it on Holocaust Memorial Day, and think about how we can make the world a better place where people aren't discriminated against. When you treat a group of people badly because of who they are, their race or religion, or because they are different from you, this is called discrimination. The Nazis discriminated against the Jews because they were different from them. Discrimination still exists in our society today. Difference is one thing we all have in common. We are all different ages, different heights, have different beliefs, come from different countries, speak different languages, and we all look unique. We all fit together to make the world a better and more interesting place. Today's story is called Rainbow Fish. The story shows us all how sharing and taking care of each other is so important. The rainbow fish. Far out in the sea lived a fish. No ordinary fish, however. He was the most beautiful fish in the entire ocean. His scales shimmered with all the colours of the rainbow. The other fish admired his colourful scales and called him Rainbow Fish. "Come on, play with us, Rainbow Fish." But Rainbow Fish was proud and swam past them. A little blue fish swam along behind him. "Rainbow Fish, wait for me. Please give me one of your glittering scales. They are so beautiful and you've got so many." "Give you one of my scales? What are you thinking of?" cried Rainbow Fish. "Get away from me." Shocked, the little blue fish swam away. Still excited, he told his friends about it. From then on, nobody wanted any more to do with Rainbow Fish. They turned away when he swam past them. What use were Rainbow Fish's beautiful scales if they were no longer admired by anyone? Now he was the loneliest fish in the entire ocean. One day he poured out his sorrow to the starfish. "I'm so beautiful, why doesn't anyone like me?" In a cave behind the coral reef lives the wise octopus. Perhaps he can help you, the starfish advised him. Rainbow Fish found the cave. It was very dark here. He could hardly see anything. Then suddenly he saw two glowing eyes. "I have been expecting you," said the octopus in a deep voice. "The waves have told me your story. Listen to my advice. Give every fish one of your glittering scales. Then you may not be the most beautiful fish in the ocean, but you will be happy again." "But," Rainbow Fish began to say, but Octopus had already disappeared in a dark cloud of ink. "Give away my scales? My beautiful glittering scales?" thought Rainbow Fish, horrified. "Never! No! How could I be happy without them?" Suddenly, he felt the light touch of a fin. The little blue fish was back. "Rainbow Fish, please don't be angry. Please give me one of your glittering scales, a small one." Rainbow Fish hesitated. "A very, very small scale," he thought. "Why not? I will hardly miss it." Rainbow Fish carefully pulled off the very smallest of his glittering scales. "Here, I'll give you this one. But now leave me in peace." Thank you very much," burbled the little blue fish excitedly. "You are kind, Rainbow Fish." Rainbow Fish felt quite strange. He watched the little blue fish for a long time as he swam away happily through the water with his glittering scale, turning this way and that. The little blue fish darted through the water with his glittering scale. Soon Rainbow Fish was surrounded by other fish. All of them wanted to have a glittering scale. Rainbow Fish shared out his scales and felt happier and happier as he did so. Finally, Rainbow Fish had only one glittering scale left. He had given away all the others. And he was happy. Happier than he had ever been. "Come on, Rainbow Fish, come and play with us," called the others. "I'm coming," said Rainbow Fish, and went happily with the other fish. The end. Thanks for watching today. Let's remember to support each other, treat each other fairly and kindly, and celebrate our differences, the things that make us special. Have a great week, everyone.
Throughout history and to this day, people have been murdered and persecuted for who they are. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that begins with prejudice, hostility, and division. On Holocaust Memorial Day, we remember those who were murdered for who they were, and we hear a warning from survivors of genocide. They warn us about how quickly division and hatred can escalate. They do this for you and me, so we can be protected from the horrors of genocide, so we can create a better future. Let's light the darkness. On Holocaust Memorial Day, 27th of January, 8 p.m, join the nation. Light or draw a candle and safely put it in your window at 8 p.m. on 27th of January. To remember those who were murdered for who they were. To stand against hatred and prejudice today. Your task after the assembly is to draw a picture of a candle and put it in your window this evening before 8 p.m.